In 1932, and following an article published by Hirokichi Saito in the Asahi Shimbun newspaper, Japan and the whole world were awakened by the tragedy of a dog, who had been waiting for 7 years for the return of his deceased owner. Here is the real story of the unprecedented loyalty of the dog Hachiko, who waited without interruption for 10 years until his death, for the return of his deceased owner, who never came back. Professor Hidesaburō Ueno was born on January 19, 1872 in Hisaishiro, now Tsumiya Prefecture. In 1895, he graduated from the Agricultural Department of Tokyo Imperial University. In 1916, he became a professor at Imperial University in the university's Agricultural Department. Professor Ueno's family had initially chosen for him a bride from a wealthy family, as was the custom at the time. But Ueno fell in love with Eiko Sakano, born in 1885, a tea ceremony instructor. Ueno's family disapproved of their union. So Ueno and Eiko went to live together in a house in the Shibuya district. They both lived happily in their domain. Professor Ueno took the train from Shibuya Station every morning to go to university, and in the evening to return home. Professor Ueno, who was a dog lover, asked his student Kiyomatsu Yomase to find him an Akita puppy. On January 15, 1924, and after an exhausting train journey, the student brought him a 50-day-old puppy, from Mr. Jichi Saito in Ueshinai in the town of Ōdate, in Akita Prefecture, the place of origin of the Akita's breed, one of the oldest and most popular breeds in Japan. The dog was almost dying. Ueno and his wife Eiko nursed him back to health over the next 6 months. Ueno named it Hachi, or 8 in Japanese. Ko is an honorary title awarded by Ueno students. He was just 3 months old. Hachiko was born in November 1923. Before long, Hachiko had grown into a splendid Akita dog, and he began taking Dr. Ueno to catch the train from Shibuya Station every morning. And every evening, the dog went to the station to wait for his master to arrive, and both come home. A great friendship was born between the professor and the dog during this period. This wonderful situation lasted until May 21, 1925, when Dr. Ueno died suddenly of a cerebral hemorrhage while giving a lecture at a teachers' meeting. Dr. Ueno was then buried in Aoyama Cemetery. Hachi was fed during the funeral, but he didn't eat anything afterward. Ueno's wife Eiko was not allowed to continue living in their house due to inheritance taxes. After moving several times, Professor Ueno's former students mobilized to buy a house for the grieving widow. Eiko always made sure that Hachiko was well taken care of, and he never stopped seeing and comforting him all the time. Hachiko spent the next few months with different families in Asakusa outside Shibuya, often seen running towards Shibuya Station, located 8 kilometers away. This lasted for a year, but finally, in the summer of 1925, he found himself with Ueno's gardener, Kikuzaburo Kobayashi, who lived in Yoyogi, and who sympathized with Hachiko, and cared for him. But every time Hachi finished his dinner, he would walk around his old house in Ueno, which was 700 or 800 meters away. Later, he sat at a ticket counter at Shibuya Station to watch his master's return. And he continued to do so every day, hot days, rainy days and even snowy days. This situation lasted almost 10 years. Without Hachi missing one day of being at the station, hoping for the arrival of his beloved master. At first, Hachiko was considered a wanderer, since he frequented the station alone, he was treated poorly, and considered a nuisance. Seeing Hachiko's situation, many people, including the staff at Shibuya Station, showed compassion, and began to care for him. As days turned into weeks, then months and years, Hachiko remained a daily presence at the station. He never lost hope of seeing his master return one day. His impact extended far beyond, making him an icon in the Shibuya community. However, Hirokichi Saito, a former student of Professor Ueno, and expert on the Akita breed, spotted the dog at the train station, and followed it to the home of Ueno's former gardener, Kozaburo Kobayashi. It was there that he revealed Hachiko's life story. Saito published several articles on the dog's remarkable fidelity. In 1932, one of his articles, published in the Asahi Shimbun newspaper, brought the dog into the national spotlight. Once the media publicized Hachiko's heartwarming story, people began to see Hachiko as a hero. He treated him with love, respect, and kindness. The station received food donations for Hachiko every day, while visitors came from all over to see him. But Hachiko continues to wait for his master every day. Hachiko died on March 8, 1935, at the age of 11. He suffered from both terminal cancer and a filarial infection. He was found on a street in Shibuya. His death made the headlines in many newspapers. At his funeral, Buddhist monks offered prayers for him, and dignitaries read eulogies. Thousands of people visited his statue in the following days. Hachi now rests in peace next to beloved master Dr. Ueno at the Aoyama Cemetery. Ueno's wife Yaeko died on April 30, 1961 at the age of 76. And despite her request to family members to be buried with her late partner, she was buried at a temple in Taito, far from the town where Ueno tomb is located. After 55 years, Yaeko's remains were reburied with her husband Hidesaburō Ueno and dog Hachiko on May 19, 2016, in accordance with her wishes recorded in a document discovered in 2014, by Sho Shirozawa, a professor at the University of Tokyo. By putting the names of the two, Hidesaburō and Yaeko, on their tomb, we can show future generations the fact that Hachiko had two guardians, Shirozawa said. Even after his death, Hachiko is still sitting in front of the exit gate of Shibuya Station, waiting for his beloved master, Dr. Ueno, to return. And he remains where he is until the end of time, hoping for the day that will never